Okay, welcome back to my channel, Pisces. This is just another read for you. This will be for the month of August 2023 or whenever you find this reading. So what I'm looking at here, the major arcana seems to be the Lover's card, and we also have the Star card. So it feels like there is a sense of healing in around a relationship for you. I would say I'll try to read it both ways on yours because I see kind of a mixed bag here, but the clarifiers do suggest, and again, with this particular deck, it's the Tarot of Pagan Cats, and it is Magdalena Messina, artwork by Lola Aragi. But I do see that the kings and queens are not really definitive here for me, so it looks like there is. So I'm just going to read it that way because it's more ambiguous. And so anyway, that's how I'm going to read it, because I don't see anything specific to indicate that it's king or queen either way. But that's the clarifier regardless. So again, you're all in different timelines. If it doesn't resonate for you this month, certainly check back further out. But I would say for the most part, how I tend to feel is that, all Libras tend to go through the same sort of scenarios. Everybody is doing it at different speeds, different rates, because your lessons are a little bit different. So if you're not in this energy currently, Pisces, and I said Libra just because that was the last one I just did here, but Pisces, if it's not resonating right at this moment, like I said, a little further out on the timeline, because some of you may be making these decisions a little further out, others of you are currently in this energy, but I feel like the stars align that particular way, so the energy kind of goes out in the field to the signs, but you sort of find it as you make your decisions, as you come upon certain situations. So again, anyway, we'll just get right into it. A little tired today, so if I ramble, please bear with me. Okay, so what I'm seeing here, again, the Lover's card seems to be the significant one. We have the Three of Wands, or some kind of advancement, and there is some kind of a decision to be made here as well. There is definitely some action taking place with that Knight of Cups here. It seems to be on the emotional front, and there is a healing that's taking place. So this is sort of the general energy that I see here. What I'm also looking at, again, these cards are a little bit different with some of the meanings, but what I'm seeing here with the star energy, regardless, is it's a very optimistic card, and it certainly feels like you're getting some guidance along the way here, on the emotional front, to be able to get through a situation. So there's hope in a situation. It's kind of a refreshing, kind of cleansing sort of energy here with the water in behind, and it definitely sort of speaks to that time of a healing and a renewal and faith. So that's the card's meaning here with the star, of course. And I'll flesh it out again a little bit further, but we're just going to start with just the general energy of, and then we'll get into the clarifiers. So when we get to the Knight of Cups, this is energy where you're taking action. So this is movement in around the emotional front. So something here needed to shift within you on an emotional level. So I feel like you're acting either based on your emotions, to advance something, but it is also someone who's moved by their emotions or art, wherever they find that emotion, whether the emotion is in a particular memory or something. Somehow the emotion is what is moving you to act. And this could also be relationship energy here as well. And then we've got the Three of Wands. So again, that Three of Wands is definitely action also, and it's sitting at the precipice of something. So you're in that space of taking action, but it's also in that energy of, I've already done the footwork, like I've already opened the door, so to speak, to some area, and I've already walked through, and now I'm just kind of exploring my options in that particular area. So you're actively wanting something to happen, but you're kind of standing there waiting for a moment. There's a bit of a pause, or waiting for something to happen so that you can act on it. So there is a bit of a delay in action. But again, you're at the space where the emotions are what propelling you to move forward here. But there is a bit of a delay in taking that action full out. So when we get to the card of the Lovers, again, there's a decision to be made. There is some kind of possible cooperative action with a lover or with a significant person to you, or you have to wait for somebody to make a decision, on your behalf in some way for you to advance something forward. So either way, there's some kind of connection to something that is strong, very potent, and it definitely is going to lead to a happy vision ahead here. So now we'll get into the clarifiers. And again, even when I get through the clarifiers, we'll do sort of a recap and flesh it out even a little bit more. But the King or Queen of Cups here, and again, I read them sort of, is an ambiguous card. So in my mind, it is speaking to being receptive as well as taking some form of authority in making a decision. So I feel like this could be dealing with, of course, Pisces, your energy here, water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, but it definitely does speak to being in authority. It's not the main energy out here. The healing in that space is the main energy, but it does speak to, somebody who is already in authority or feels like they make decisions in a professional way, or has very strong emotional convictions and that kind of thing, but calm, cool, collected on the average. Not to say you never get upset. It would just mean, on the average, you present as calm, cool, collected. So we also have the energy of the Knight of Cups here, and that's, again, as I said, it's you taking action in some respect here. So there is something that you are trying to deal with in an emotional way that's propelling you forward. You're at an end cycle where you're tying up loose ends to some area of your life here that is going to advance you. So the Knight of Wands is, the final sort of step of, I put a lot of time and energy into something now and I just have to wait it out, which is really where it ends up here. But that Knight of Wands, as I said, is preparing to meet a challenge, but you're just tying up the loose ends, getting things organized. It's like you've already made some kind of a decision here, and now you're just ready to go forward with it. But again, there's something else that has to fall into place with that Three of Wands energy before you can go forward, because you're actively waiting for something, some plan to enact. So we also have the Empress here, and of course the Empress is, you're waiting on the abundance. You're either waiting on money to come through, or you're waiting on something here that is going to lead to abundance. So, and maybe it could be both as well, but either way, you consider this to be a time of, whatever it is you're about to embark on, you consider it to be something that's abundant. It's something that would make you, it's creating a lot of good energy for you. It's in that space of, you enjoying a lot of extras. If because you're moving into this path, you're really envisioning this as something that is quite an indulgent time, as something that will lead you to a better life. Then we also have, again, with the Lovers, there's some kind of a decision to make here, or a decision is being made around this, and you're waiting on something. But we also have the energy of the high priestess. So this is about somebody who I feel is coming off a little bit mysterious and quite quiet. You're kind of coming off as being a little bit more aloof in this period for the month of August, because I feel you're in a process of just sort of waiting to see how something amounts. Or what it amounts to, but this is also having a higher level of knowledge and a lot of experience. So this is you, I would say, and this is also moving into that space of something yet to be revealed. So something is still in the works that is not quite known to you. Again, just to recap, you are in the space of, with the Sun card, you're in that space, or sorry, with the Star card, you're in that space of healing. So again, it feels like an emotional healing here. It definitely feels like you're in a very optimistic sort of place, and it's definitely in that space of being on the right track. Everything's working out the way it should. New doors are opening. You've got promises and hope for a possibility for something to grow ahead into, and it does feel like it is something that you are putting a lot into, to create some balance and harmony for yourself, because again, the Star is keeping the faith, and it is living life on purpose. It's something that you're really connected to. It's a destination that you feel is going to help you reach your highest potential. So like I said, I feel like you've got a really positive outlook in regards to the plans that you're implementing moving forward. Even on a spiritual level, this would be taking things to a higher plane. Certainly is kind of wishing upon a star with your dreams, that kind of thing, but it is the energy of finding a certain level of light, purpose, deeper meaning. We also have the card of, like I said, this is more ambiguous, King, Queen sort of energy here. Because to me, this is almost sort of a neutral energy here. I feel Pisces kind of coming through with that fish in there, but it feels like you are ready for more flow in your life. You're ready for more connection into something. I feel like even from the level of King of Cups, I mean, of course, this would be your energy as well, where it's around you, calm, cool, collected. But it also feels energetically that this is a place where you're just going to feel a lot more mastery over your emotions. Maybe this is going to help you to, get hold of your emotions, because maybe this is where you are actually healing. Maybe you felt like you were out of balance in some way there. But either way, I feel like you're getting in touch with your feelings more here. I feel like you're going to be making some big moves here, which is going to help you to level up for sure, because there's significant energy here of abundance. And I do feel like this is still that energy of you might be a little more sensitive, or have been, and that's probably why this is showing up here, that you're in sort of a healing stage. But I would say that you're meeting this with a certain level of emotional balance now. You're starting to anyway. I also think that a lot of your answers and the things that will guide you up ahead here are going to come through on an intuitive basis. So I think that you have to examine your feelings in this period. But you're maturely starting to express that, because it is a form of, leadership to be at the king level. So it's mature energy. You could be the mature person here also. But when we move into the Knight of Cups, the Knight of Cups, of course, is the energy of taking action on something that's going to emotionally satisfy you. So there is more of a rapid development around your emotional state. So again, this is where you're focused on more of your emotion. It could be tied into your creativity as well, but it's also, the Knight is also that where something flows through it. So you can see that there is more of a, I'm on top of my emotions now, and it's a new kind of experience. Something is stirring up your heart space. This is where you're approaching your responsibilities in more of an intuitive way. And again, it just feels like you really connected emotionally to this path for sure. Significant improvement, even in terms of a loving connection here as well. That could be one of the support for you. But it's a healing energy all around. So if there was any kind of area of upset there, it feels like it's more moving into that space of improvement, significant improvement. When we get to the Nine of Wands, again, there may still be that residual energy where there has been some issues, but you are bringing things to a conclusion. So the Nine is just tying up the loose ends, and sort of it'll be moving you into an integrate the lessons or the work situation. So once you integrate things, that's when you're going to start to see that there's a lot more balance. But you still seem to be waiting on something here. Again, the Knight of Wands is something's taken a lot of work or a lot of time, energy out of you. It's been physically draining you in some way. Something has caused you a certain degree of fatigue, or you're feeling a lot of fatigue in I would say kind of emotionally. And emotionally and physically, actually, with that Nine of Wands. But it just, as I say, the Nine of Wands is still that area of your life where you're having to still draw some strength to kind of push through whatever setbacks you were kind of dealing with. So it's like a regrouping energy. You're a lot more resilient. You just need to be a little more resilient as well. But there's a determined energy that is coming through here, and it's kind of rapid recovery from a situation here as well. But like I say, I feel like you're starting to feel or see that there's a lot more empowerment and life transforming experiences up ahead for you. So that Three of Wands energy, again, there's, significant wands here. So your Three of Wands can also be dealing with something that's creative planning here, or also seeing the big picture, that kind of thing. Could be considering travel as well. Usually I see a few other cards here around that, but, at this time, it may be that you're just considering Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, also relevant here. But I feel like you're just about ready for something to pay off here. Again, some of you, it might be a trip or something that's coming through here with the abundance, but for the most part, as far as, looking at something that's more enterprising, I would say this is about, something that you could be waiting on in the distance here that's still yet to come through. So news from a distance. There could be a sense of moving to a more going into it like a travel space that's much more abundant for you, but you're still waiting on something. You're waiting on something. So again, it's you're waiting for approval on something, or something. Either way is still, the news is good. The news is good, as I said, but it feels like you, and it's bringing about kind of this heart's desire here with the Empress energy, but you're still waiting at the precipice here. So you've already walked through the door, and now you're just waiting for the result of, what you've done. So anyway, this is also dealing with the High Priestess, like I said over here, is kind of dealing with aspects of yourself here as well. So it's kind of dealing with sort of the hidden parts of a relationship as well, something that's still to be revealed. Like maybe something is being kind of reflected on, something's being held back. There's something that you're just not seeing the full picture about here as well in regards to a connection. You might not have the full story about how something moves forward, but I think that you do have your answers here, because there's too much energy around abundance, as well as quite, calm, cool, collected, expertise, mature energy, all of that. So I feel like you're focusing on your intuition right now. I think you're just sort of probing beneath the surface and staying quiet, and that's how you're sort of listening to, the synchronicities, listening to your body, listening to whatever answers kind of come through on this personal path for you. But this is still really listening to your emotions, but kind of mystique around the Empress as well as the High Priestess. Like I said, it's still that energy of, because the Empress is, starting to look after you in some way, there's like a strong desire to really build something here that you feel is going to bring in a really, because it's a good luck card, really. It's a sense of not luck that just randomly happens. It's a sense of insight that's going to create this huge level of ideas that blossom. Like something's really going to blossom in a big way for you here, and it's a wise path. It's something that I feel is alluring to you because it has a sense of mystery, a sense of something that's unknown to you, and it's spiritually energizing. I would even say that it's kind of helping you to, I don't really see structure so much as indulgence and really wanting to dive right in and passionately sort of embrace whatever's up ahead here. Your emotions seem to be, obviously satisfied from whatever you're doing here this month, but I would say even in terms of a relationship, it's revitalizing you, and it's revitalizing that relationship, and it's nurturing yourself. It's nurturing up ahead. You're just not in that space, so the relationship will feel much more satisfying up ahead. You're just waiting on something. There's something that's still yet to be revealed. So anyway, I'm just going to leave it there for you, Pisces, but it's looking pretty good for the month of August. Keep moving forward, never give up, especially when you get cards like this coming through. Like I said, the main energies out are healing and Lover's cards, so collaborative effort with another person that's more significant to you, something yet to be revealed, and once that happens, everything's going to fall into place. So fear not, you have a lot of abundance that's coming in, and it's some kind of a new start emotionally for you as well. So it's revitalizing you. That's what I have for you, Pisces. Until next time.